Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, we are making the ultimate pumpkin bread. As you know, pumpkin bread comes in sort of a few varieties. You've got the classic plain pumpkin bread that's nostalgic and lovely, and every home has their own recipe for it. Then you've got the cream cheese stuffed pumpkin bread, which is a bit more elevated, right? And we love it. It's rich, it's delicious, it's got a little cheesecake situation going on. And then a lot of times bakeries will have it with like a little bit of a streusel topping on top for an extra crunch and more depth. We are combining all three because we're making it truly the ultimate, and it's so easy to do. First of all, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 325, now 350, 325, because this bakes for a long time. Get a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan prepared with some nonstick spray and some parchment paper, and then we're just going to get going. The first thing I'm going to work on is the filling itself, which is just compiled of softened cream cheese. Just make sure your cream cheese is very nice and soft, and some sugar. I wish I had a plate next to me. It's okay. And then I'm gonna add just a splash, very small splash of vanilla. And I'm gonna go ahead and, I just pulled my hair out. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this really well until the cream cheese and the sugar are combined, which does not take long. Literally took me 2 seconds because my cream cheese was a perfect room temp. Now we're going to switch to the filling, to the actual bread. Since we did the filling, you're just going to take some eggs and sugar and you're going to combine them. Just give this a good whisk. You can do this in a standing mixer or with a handheld electric whisk, but I am never afraid of putting in a little elbow grease, you know, getting that all nicely whisked. Beautiful. That's perfect. We're gonna add the pumpkin puree, not to be mistaken with pumpkin pie filling, which are two very different things. Some vegetable oil or any neutral oil of your choice. I'm using avocado, but you could also use like a light olive oil, which is typically my go-to. Small splash of milk and a bit more vanilla, which I always have to shake because this is my homemade vanilla and the vanilla beans tend to settle, which is very normal, mind ya. There we go. And just whisk those to combine. Now we're going to add in the dry ingredient, which is a mixture of all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and pumpkin pie spice. And then just gently work that in. I'm going to switch to a spatula when I'm about halfway through because it just gets thicker and thicker. So it's just easier to switch to a spatula. That looks gorgeous. Okay, so now we have everything ready. Let's talk topping because I already have mine made. It's just a combination of flour, brown sugar, and a little bit of cold butter that I just I do it with my fingers because it's such a small amount that's not even worth getting a pastry cutter out. You cut the cold butter into small pieces and then you just sort of running through those dry ingredients until it resembles like a coarse sand, you know? Okay, so here's the thing. You're gonna pour half of your batter in the bottom of your pan. Try and get it nice and even if possible. Then you're gonna take dollops of your cream cheese filling. I just do it dollops because it's just easy this way. And you're just gonna literally dollop them all around, and you don't even need to worry about evening them out if you don't want to. You don't have to worry about smoothing them out if you don't want to. It's so forgiving and it's so easy, and it truly makes for the most perfect pumpkin bread you'll ever have. And to me, this is the kind of recipe that you wouldn't maybe serve at your holiday table, but you definitely could with this one. It's kind of the ultimate, you know? I just kind of schmooze it around a little bit, but totally unnecessary because as it bakes, it kind of loosens itself up, so you don't have to bother. And then you take the remaining batter, plunk that right on. We're gonna try and do that as even as possible, but again, I wouldn't be really too concerned. And then we have to just even this out a little tiny bit. And then you take your streusel topping and you're gonna just evenly just sprinkle this. This is gonna give you really beautiful texture, and it's pretty awesome if I do say so myself. This is gonna go in a 325 oven. I keep wanting to say 350 because that's sort of like my fallback baking temperature. And this is gonna bake for about an hour and 20 to an hour and 30. You're gonna wanna keep an eye on it, low and slow. It's very dense. There's a lot going on. We don't wanna burn anything. So we're just gonna give it time and it's gonna be so perfect when it's done and cooled, and it's gonna be just incredible. Beautiful, beautiful pumpkin breads out of the oven. Now this baked for about an hour and 20 minutes. So just keep an eye out because some ovens are hotter than others. So make sure that you've got your eyes right on that. And I've let it cool pretty much completely. I should be using a serrated knife for this, but you know me, you know how I roll. Sometimes, oh, look at that. Sometimes, I'm gonna take this piece because I want to take a gorgeous photo of that. Look how beautiful. Lovely and spongy, that cheesecake like cream cheese filling, and then you have like a crispy delicious dome topping on there that just gives you a bit of texture. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with the cream cheese piece. Oh yeah, you know what, there has never been a better pumpkin bread. 10 out of 10. Texture, cream cheese. Dynamite. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. You have to make this if you want the ultimate pumpkin bread. Hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you next one. Bye.